I'm back. I don't know if I don't think I ever left. I just stayed a little quiet. But let me tell you, I started recording this particular thing here on I can't even remember where to look at because the camera's here, but the screen's over there, and I'm like, yeah. Anyway, I started record this past Wednesday, and then I didn't have everything I needed, and then so I was like, fuck it, I got to do this over again. So we're just gonna go to the intro and suffer through whatever it is I'm presenting. I don't even know. Well, I do know just a little bit, but not entirely because you know it's been a long time since you left me. Yeah, I did. Check this out.
'Isi-miso-wa. Welcome to the Tempest Universe with Manny. Today's special, robbing with fried rice.
China.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
It's China to me, China.
Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside.
China.
This is the Tempest Universe, man. Hold on to your ass. You're in for a hell of a ride.
By the way, I gotta update those images of Bugs and Yoda because God, Yoda's freaking huge right now, and Bugs is old as fuck, to be honest. But that's just what it is. I decided I needed to come back. There are a lot of people have been sending me IMs and messages saying, "Hey, when you gonna come back? Oh, hey, when's your next episode? Or what the hell? Where are you? What the fuck is your problem?" Not a problem, really. It's just that everything is fucked. Ufology is so fucked on so many levels. You know, last year I said everybody needs to watch Weaponized because that's where the action's at. All these other, YouTube channels and podcasts and all that stuff. Listen, I'm not doubting their work or their ability to put things out. But the guys with all the inside information, it's not any of them. Not any of them. Not even Joe Rogan. It is Corbell and Knapp. I mean, come on. Knapp alone probably has enough information to really break things open, but he's worried about his career and the careers and secrecy of others. I feel like these two guys, if they don't release the A bomb on this, that we're gonna have maybe some deathbed confessions, or maybe they're going through this whole Walt Disney thing. Maybe they'll take Knapp and put him into a chamber. And when all the people that gave him all the secrets die, he'll fucking come out, they'll revive his ass, bring him back to life, and then he'll spill all the beans. Meanwhile, all of us are dead as fuck. Like, we are like dead as doornails, been probed millions of times. I mean, we've been jerked off for all our sperm that's been taken into space. And then he'll come back, all just, refreshed and ready to go and have another 40 years of secrecy. Don't get me wrong, I like the show. To be honest, I always look forward to it. The one thing you can tell is whenever they've released a little bit too much, because the damn show would like disappear for 1, 2, 3 weeks. Yeah, and they would hint to it. George would hint to it. Jeremy would hint to it. And maybe some of the shit that they put out there might have been a little bit too much. But for us, the regular folk, we fucking hell, what are we looking at? We don't even got the full video. That's the shit that gets me. Can someone please release, at least 15 minutes. Let's not hear things like, oh, you should have seen about 5 minutes later, it went right into the water for like 10 minutes, came back up with a loofah and a whale. I don't, it doesn't excite me. It really doesn't. I don't give a fuck about what I didn't see, because that's the whole history of ufology and what we didn't see. And I still do not get why people only release clips. Like when you saw this UFO and you were perplexed, why the fuck did you turn off the camera? Why did you stop taking pictures? Did you forget to charge your phone? It bugs me so much that happens. Oh, I watched it for another 15 minutes. Where the fuck is the video? Where's the pictures? Get somebody else's phone, aim on that shit, and get that damn video, have them send it to you. I don't understand why this happens. I mean, these cameras, I think shit, my phone has about a half a terabyte almost. Is it that big? Oh, it's big. No, I don't know. I think it is. I think I got like 500 gigs, a half a terabyte, right? But like they say, when this shit happens, you freeze, you shit yourself, you piss all over your shoes, and then you figure after it's gone, oh, I could have videotaped it. That's the way it goes down. Anyway, there's a point I wanted to make today, but we're going to start with a couple of clips from Weaponized, and the links will be in the description. Please watch the whole thing. Oh, I just want to show you guys something. Hold on a second. Check this out. Where is it? You see that? In remembrance of UFO Buster Radio, never forget where you started and always look forward towards the future. Covering the paranormal since 2015. Look at that. 2015, December 11th, all the way to January 1st, 2024. For fuck's sake. All that time just gone. Actually, all the time talking about UFOs literally got probed in maybe the last 6, 7, 8 months. Killed by Dr. Kilpatrick and the rest of the gang at Arrow. And then all the other people who give no fucks and just throw all kind of crazy shit into the topic. It was frustrating, I gotta say. There's 2 episodes in Weaponized that are pivotal to the discussion, which really makes everything else look like shit. I'll be honest, just doo-doo. The first one is, I believe, Weapon 6. Weapon. This is Weapon 6. Is Weaponized episode number 6, and that's with Colin Kelleher, whatever the fuck, call her, I don't care. Colin Kelleher. And, there's things in there that he talks about, especially, I'm not going to tell you. I'm just roll the damn tape. So you guys just look at this. It's real quick. Come on, don't go nowhere. I'm going to roll this. We're going to talk about it. You're going to put your snarky comments, and then I'll respond, and then we'll be snarky with each other. And then you'll come back for the next episode, whenever the fuck that is. Hopefully before the end of the year.
I've got high hopes in that one line in there that you found. It could go further. I guess kind of to start wrapping up, what do you know about the phenomenon, about UFOs? What can you say for sure? Maybe it's nothing, but what do we know about UFOs, and where does this go?
As I said, what we know is what we glean from all of the data that has been discussed. And, that the
UFOs are real.
Tell me. Yes, UFOs are technologically sophisticated. They have performance characteristics that are, the 5 observables are sort of well documented, but they also have very profound effects on some people, or they have superficial effects on other people, but they do have effects on people. So going forward is to combine both of those, is to study UFO performance, and the hope is that out of UFO performance can come theoretical physics, which will eventually translate into engineering.
Does our government have downed UFOs from unknown origin that they've been trying and are trying to reverse engineer and exploit those technologies, understand the physics, understand that technology? Do we have that to work with?
I can't talk about that, but the answer is yes.
Let me ask it this way. So there are a number of whistleblowers who have new protections. They're lining up. We know some of them, and we know generally what they're prepared to say. Let's say they tell this to Congress, and Congress authorizes Arrow, hey, the stuff is over here, go get it. How does that change the world if we suddenly acknowledge, or at least the government finds and locates and tests somewhat in the open, these metamaterials created by someone else, they're not ours, or entire craft that were built by someone else and we can't figure out how they fly? How does that change the dynamic of this? And does that answer the big questions? Who built them, where they're from, why they're here?
Well, it certainly answers the sort of sneaking suspicion that people have had over many, many, many decades that the United States government is not coming out with the full truth of what has happened behind closed doors. In terms of the questions that you're asking about, though, technical performance and performance characteristics are fundamental. If the analysis, the level of analysis that has happened on these objects is sufficient to generate, as I said, physics and engineering, that is a major breakthrough, and that would be a fundamental departure point for humanity, because humanity would be able to answer that question: are we alone or not alone in the universe?
We wouldn't be able to answer from that, just from the raw materials or the metamaterials, where they're from or what their interest is. The bigger question is, why are they here? Where are they from? What's their interest in us?
Yeah, right.
But at least that, if you had that confirmed, yes, there is somebody else here. Here it is. Here's the stuff. Then you could go on and at least address the other questions.
Well, and not only that, but you could get, the Galileo project has got a lot of different scientific talent and expertise associated with. So you could start really sort of co-opting scientific organizations. That's already happening, actually, but I think you could really accelerate that. Once the certainty was there that there was technology of unknown origin in existence, that it had been, really discovered, and that it was unequivocal. If that message was put out to humanity, it would be a game changer.
Is that true? And the message hasn't been put out?
The message hasn't been put out.
But is that true? What you said, that there's technology of unknown
Well,
origin?
like I said, I can't talk about it, but the answer is yes.
So why? Why would a buddy of mine, a really funny buddy of mine, I was arguing with him, like, I don't get it. I said, I don't get it. Why so much contact, so many UFOs for so long? Is there a program? What are they doing? The Tic Tac UFO wasn't performing for favor until it noticed them. It was doing a job. So the question I have is, why so much activity? What is the UFO presence? What are they doing here?
Brings us back to where we started, that word consciousness. I think Colin has some theories about that, right? It brings it full circle to where we started our conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like the old metaphor of the tree in the forest falls and nobody is there to hear it. Is the tree really falling in the forest? So the idea that UFOs are interacting with planet Earth, the sort of most likely scenario is that the reason for that is that humans are on the planet. I mean, it's unlikely that they're focusing only on, marsupials
or trees.
Trees.
So you don't think they'd be here if it wasn't for the human presence here, that
Right.
somehow that humanity itself is the focus of the interaction between these unknowns that we call UFOs, this other intelligence that are operating these?
That's a working hypothesis. It could be that they're not just focusing on humanity, but the astounding number of sightings, that hundreds of thousands, if not more, globally, that are personalized interactions between individuals or groups, small groups, and UFOs that have life-changing effects in some cases, and mentality changing in many cases, leads me to think that one of the agendas of the UFO phenomenon is to interact with humans, but not interact with the White House, but interact with individuals. And there's maybe a process where individuals are, affected in a positive way ultimately.
That they're changing us one person at a time?
That's a possibility.
There you go. Consciousness. What the fuck is it with the C word? And the thing is, I gotta say, and I've said this before, probably 1 or 2 episodes ago, there are like months in between, so you probably forgot. When my daughter passed away, I was into this consciousness thing. Like, what the fuck is it? What else is there? And a lot of it is because something really fucking freaky happened when she passed away. And I will never forget it. I mean, it made me believe that we are more than just a bag of bones or meat suits. Well, actually, no, we are meat suits for this consciousness. And, I've been looking at a lot of different authors in this. And, I think we need to cover that in the near future because it's confusing as fuck. Consciousness is something, but so many things happen that make you believe they're there. Even recently, I had an experience that dealt with someone that was passing away. And it's the damn consciousness, man. Like I only met this person twice. It's freaky. It's freaky. And there's people who help the government tap into this. And where are you and I with all the secrets, everything that they figured out, just like UFOs, everything else? We're nowhere. We have no fucking clue. But when you're listening to Kelleher, he talks about consciousness. There's a consciousness that ET might be attracted to, that they might be curious about. And you got to listen to the whole episode to really get this whole full picture that he's trying to present, because he does present it a few times in the episode. But that tells me if the government paid to have this team of scientists go in there, especially to Skinwalker Ranch, and one of their head dudes comes out and he's whispering the word consciousness, for fuck's sake, this is real. It's a real thing. If you talk to a lot of your family members and their experiences, maybe some of them have, lucid dreams. Maybe some of them astral project. Maybe they're remote viewers. These are all a part of consciousness in one way or another. So the thing is real. The thing is something we have to conquer. And the fact that this scientist, Keller, is saying that the ET phenomena might be attracted to that or attracted to it or be part of it or something like that. It's a mystery to them, something they're trying to figure out. In my journeys trying to figure out consciousness, I came across so many indicators that we are like odd as far as human beings are when it comes to our ability to have a soul and tap into consciousness and what happens after we die. But, we'll have more discussion about that eventually because, for fuck's sake, it's a topic that we really, you need years to figure this shit out. And I feel bad that I haven't really delved into this thing until now in my late years. I'll probably I probably would crack. My soul will crack and I'll die tomorrow. But I feel like this is something that people should take on in their early years, as many authors that have books out there that are popular, like Monroe, all those guys, the guys that tackled this early. They got some answers. They had some weird and amazing things happen to them. Things that they say humanity, anyone can do it eventually with enough practice. But let's get into the next clip. Listen, this next one, it's crazy. And you know what? The result of this next clip has to do with James Lukatsky and also Colin Kelleher. But Kelleher kind of took a little bit of a backseat in this clip. And this is episode number 38 of Weaponized. And there's a book he put out. And I got it right here. I actually went out and purchased it. So you guys will see right there. See that bad boy? Yeah, right there inside the U.S. government covert UFO program initial revelations. We'll talk about that after the clip. But listen to this. Corbell and Jeremy, they do a good job of kind of trapping, what's his name, Lukatsky. But still, Lukatsky held on to his guns. And if you didn't see this episode, look at the description. Check it out. Stop fucking around. Because with these two clips, your answer is there. If you even were a little bit on the smidgen side of not believing in UFOs, for fuck's sake, get the fucking book. And you don't even need the book. Look at the fucking people I write down video telling you, for fuck's sake, come on, open your eyeballs.
All right, fine. But Jim, do you think the American public deserves to know about the ultimate reality? The fact that there appear to be non-human intelligence flying spacecraft or something that looks like them.
That's why we're doing these books. We're trying.
So you believe the American public has a right to know?
Within the security limits. Within security limits. Security comes first. But the thing is national security comes first. But that's why we're assembling these books, and we're trying to accurately assemble them based on real references. that may or may not be available to the public, but you're getting direct extracts from these references.
There's one particular UFO design that gets discussed in the book that you reveal, and if you blink, you'll miss it. But it's maybe the most controversial and important piece of information that this book conveys. You say something at the beginning of chapter 9 about a craft of unknown origin that our government finally accessed the inside. Can you share with us what's in the book, and is there anything else you can add to that?
Well, what's in the book is an exact statement of the event that occurred let's say in a congressional facility. There was more to it, considerably more to that discussion about what this situation was. We can't go into that because and when I mean Colin and I, yes, we know about it. People are interested in it, I'm quite sure, but security has to trump everything else. A lot of things can be said. This book, as was Skinwalkers at the Pentagon, I keep flashing the book, basically was reviewed by the Department of Defense for release and approved the wording that's in it, the wording. If we varied that wording, we'd get back. This was a 7-month review. This was quick. DOD on Skinwalkers at the Pentagon took 14 months to review that book. There was, I agreed with all of the changes on both of these books. I agreed with, except for one. I made the fatal mistake of complimenting the help from a non-DOD organization. And it was, whoa, we can't do that. We've got to line that out. And so that was the only thing that was a straight line out. DOD helped us reword things by their security regulations. And so you're getting as much as we can say. Jeremy,
okay, so hold on. So for our audience that's listening, George just dropped an atom bomb because it was dropped in the book. So audience is just listening. I'm going to read you something. Beginning of chapter 9. At the conclusion of a 2011 meeting in the Capitol building with a U.S. Senator and an agency undersecretary, Lekatsky, the only one of the book's authors present, posed a question. But this is where it gets good. He stated, meaning you, Dr. Lekatsky, that the United States was in possession of a craft of unknown origin and had successfully gained access to its interior. This craft had a streamlined configuration suitable for aerodynamic flight, but no intakes, exhaust, wings, or control surfaces. In fact, it appeared not to have an engine, fuel tanks, or fuel. Now there's a next part, which I'll read in a minute, but what this is you're officially allowed to tell us that the United States government has in its possession a craft of unknown origin and you were able to access the inside. Is that correct?
The wording that you read is correct. You're going beyond the wording.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you, did that meeting happen? And is it true? And it's true.
Yes.
Okay, you're telling us, you told us, because you were allowed to tell us, that our government has a UFO in its possession and has been able to access the inside of it, right?
Yes.
Well, that's
I was allowed to tell you. Let me show the back of the book. This is what
I know, but hold up. George, will you translate, George?
All right, let's try another tack. How do we know it's a craft and not a doorstop? We accessed it. It has no engine. It has no wings, no fuel. It doesn't. We don't know that it travels. Do we know it's a craft or it's just a rock?
George, you're going into the further discussion that occurred that day.
All right.
We can't go there. But let me tell you, we're going to try to cover that in the future. But it's delicate. It makes the technology described in here look primitive.
Why is it delicate? Why is this topic that the United States government has a UFO in its possession and we've been reverse engineering it? You've done admitted it. Why is it delicate?
The details. I'm old school. I won't use the term adversary, competitor as the way we describe. We are surrounded, maybe not surrounded, but hopefully not so, by our enemies. And our enemies, you can be sure they're listening to this show right now. You can be sure that they were monitoring AAWSAP. You can be sure that perhaps they had employees, hopefully not in CIA, but in the contractor part, were giving out information. I know that. So the thing is we can't say anything more than what we've been approved to say. And there's insight to this, but
Okay. No, I mean, what more do you need? The man told you in his book, which was approved by the Department of Defense on chapter fucking 9. They even tell you where the fuck to get it. In this book right here. Get in this fucking book. Go into chapter 9. And read the Department of Defense approved verbiage in this work of literature that says yes. He literally walked into the government office of someone in Congress to say, hey, motherfuckers, we finally cracked the egg on this shit. We're in. He even goes as far as describing this UFO. I mean, not entirely. He didn't give any info about the inside. What you got to appreciate is that he's literally telling you why we are not being told about UFOs. Secrecy. Oh gosh, secrecy. Oh my God, Moonraker, are you kidding me? Yeah. We've known this. It's all a big fucking secret. But it almost seems like, in the way he described things in this entire episode, that the secrecy is not so much because we're a bunch of dummies or we're scaredy cats, we're going to go and start killing each other when we hear it. But from a government perspective and the Department of Defense, it's letting out the big secret, what we have. There is no doubt, if you look at the body of work on Weaponized and all the people that have come on there is absolutely no doubt that other countries are doing the same thing. Some of them are sharing information with the US. Some of them are asking the US for help. But is those what is it they call those near, what the fuck are they? Dr. Taylor called them something near something. I forgot what the fuck it was. But basically the people, that are always watching our every move, just waiting, stab us in the back, do a little espionage, get their spies into where they shouldn't be. Oh yeah, near peers. That's what Dr. Taylor would say all the time. Near peers. They're not fucking peers. Not if that's what they're after. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we have to know. We have to know. Lakatsky said he put it in there. He also mentioned in this episode that eventually more is going to come out in further publications. Yes, it's going to make them a little bit of money. But the thing is, this is not getting out to the public. Here you have two clips where two government employees who worked on very recent UFO type projects or whatever, they literally just told you in both clips that yes, we have UFOs. In one clip, yes, we got in it. We opened it. But this is only going to you and I. It's not going to no one else. No one in media lost their shit over this. They didn't give two fucks about it. They didn't even want to cover it. What are they going to do? They'll cover it. Lakatsky is going to hold on to his guns. He's not going to give him anything else. He's not going to give him anything more. And then what? Well, then they'll focus on something else, like the eclipse. That's more important. The problem is that this is not getting out to the masses. The people that matter in this conversation right now, today, with all these little leaks that are going on, is the people that don't give any fucks about it. The rest of the population, the rest of the general public that does not give a damn if ET shoves a 15-inch metallic rod in their ass because they're oblivious to the whole thing. They don't believe, they don't care. Their phones are way more important. Looking down, playing games, and I do it all the time. I'm not gonna lie, I do it because it takes me away from life. But that's what's happening. Everyday life, taxes, marriage, kids, death. Somebody steals the tires on your car, buying a new car, buying the best thing out there is distracting you from what's going on up there and all around you, right? Because the fact is, this shit is everywhere. We just don't have time to see it. But until that general public gets in there and digs in and listens to Lakatsky and Kelleher and people alike, we're stuck. Ufology, aliens, yeah, definitely. We're going to go down the road of the government, and disclosure will happen in about 30 more fucking years when all of us are dead. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I mean, you guys tell me. I know you will. It's a losing battle. And right now, we don't have a single champion on the front line that will sacrifice themselves. Because let's be honest, you live, let's say, what, 3/4 of a century at most? Most people die before that anyway. But that's all you live. Wouldn't you make a greater mark in the short time that you're here by releasing what you know? Let's be honest. Why the fuck you need secrecy? That's why you are basically fighting yourself every day. Should you say something? Should you not? Do I keep a secret? Do they know I know it? Do they know I know it? Right? You're having all these internal turmoil because you know something you know everyone else should know, but you're afraid because you're going to lose your job. Well, fuck, you'll get another job. Secrecy, you'll get another bit of secrecy. If they throw you in jail, I guarantee you a lot of the most famous attorneys out there will come out to defend you, probably in droves, if they know that you have the end-all, be-all piece of information to break ufology and the story of aliens and ETs wide open. That's the truth. I contribute to that shit. Your legal fund. But at this point of the game, with so many people coming out in government, why would you need a legal fund? You're being protected. And yeah, the whistleblowing thing kind of like got doggy styled. Let's look at David Grush. We already know. He went into hiding. Lou Elizondo went into hiding. Where the fuck is Lou? All these people were saying the first quarter of this year, there's going to be some big news. We're going to release bombshell after bombshell. We're going to get it out there. We're going to make these people come to the table and let us know what they have and admit to what they know. Not a fucking thing has happened. First quarter, in and out. We're in the second quarter now. I don't know. It feels like a football game for a really bad team. And we're being scored on big time. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't know. Now, it turns out somebody published on X/Twitter that Lou Elizondo's book, who was supposed to come out this year, early this year, apparently is slated for next year. I don't know. What does that mean? Who's going through the book? Who's approving it? Is it the Department of Defense going through it? Is it DIA? I mean, who is going through this? Who is keeping this book from being published? And of course, I want to keep my secrecy. Fuck your secrecy. Listen, the minute anybody says UFO, please just take their secrecy away and let's get on with it. Let's do this. Because secrecy is the problem. And I get, defense and secrets relating to capabilities of our military and stuff like that. I get it, but that's not what the fuck we want to know. We want to know, is there an ET presence? Where they're coming from? And what should we feel about it? Should we be prepared? I mean, it's not. Shit, I live in Texas. We got enough guns as it is, but do we need a little more? Do we need laser guns now too? I don't know. The fight goes on, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. But listen, this book, it's on Amazon. It didn't cost that much. I don't think he's making a whole shitload of money. Let me tell you. Actually, I wish it comes out an audiobook already because I get sleepy when I read. I'm fucking old. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. Spread the word. Unfortunately, the Tempest Universe doesn't get a whole lot of movement in YouTube land. But only you can do this. You can help it move. Just subscribe or something. Do something, man. Come on. What the fuck? I'm out. Until next time. Ciao.